I'm Chris Berryman. I'm a volunteer here at Fort Nisqually Living History Museum, and I'm going to talk about how to make roofing. Back in the day it was cedar shakes, as you can see here on the granary, and I'm going to show you how to make a shake. So using a mallet and throw, which is just a big long wedge, I'll split out of this piece of vertical grain cedar a shape. You don't want any knots, and straight grain. Should make it pop apart easy. And there's a shake. There's a lot of them in a roof, so a lot to do. Let me show you how they're laid here. If this board represents the bottom of your roof, your bottom of your space sheathing, your first shake is going to overhang on both ends a bit, at the bottom and at the side, and the next one is nailed next to it. The Hudson's Bay Company had access to nails back in the day as the Industrial Revolution was going full blast in England. They had factories that were pounding out nails. The blacksmith didn't have to make them, and the Hudson's Bay Company could get them by the barrel. The next layer sits on top of that. It overlaps at least an inch to the next seam. The idea is that the water will run off the edge of the roof before it has time to go sideways and back sideways again to cause a leak. The steeper your roof, the less likely it is to leak. Your next row above that, above this first layer, is set a little less than half the distance up the roof, and this is called your exposure. This is what is exposed to the weather, and you would have a gauge. You could snap a line to set your next shakes, or nail a stick across there to allow you to just drop your shakes in place. And then again, the next row, you're also observing the offset of the seams there. And so on it goes on up the roof, again having that water always running off and your spacing. You end up with 3 rows, that way in any given spot, that way any water that's blown back up is more likely to catch a shake and then run down the roof. There's a lot to doing a roof, a lot more details to it, but that's the basics. At the top of the roof though, one last thing to talk about is the peak. When you get to the top of the roof, shakes, one is overlapped over the other like so, and then the next shake set back is overlapped the opposite, so that water is always being, the same shingle effect, water is always running off. So I hope you enjoyed that, and if you did, follow us on social media.